win the morning, win the day.
Win the day. Yep.
And winning the day is looking back at the day and saying, okay, what happened today? Did I move the needle? Did I book any appointments?
Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
All right, so we're doing this again. Hey guys, thank you for joining us on the Our Team Podcast. I have a very special guest. You're not really a guest.
Am I?
You're a team member.
Team member, okay.
This podcast is for anyone who wants to level up, or maybe a buyer or seller that wants to learn more about the market. It's for a lot of people, but it's also for us, right? So this is the perfect time for you to be introduced to people that wouldn't otherwise know you. Stephanie Elkin is not Stephanie Elkin anymore.
We're transitioning into Cranford eventually. I just got married, so it'll be Cranford eventually.
She's in that awkward place where her real name is Stephanie Crawford, but
Cranford,
sorry.
That's okay. Everyone does it.
I just spoke to a Crawford. I'm literally.
Yeah. I get it all the time.
So Stephanie Cranford, because you recently got married, awesome wedding, by the way.
Thank you.
That ceremony was fantastic. But the DRE, you're still Stephanie Elkin. So
yeah, it takes a little bit to kind of go through the process of changing everything. So we're working on it.
Yeah, that's good. So it's not that off base when I call you Stephanie Elkin, because you're still.
No, I'm still Stephanie Elkin
in this
the team. Yeah,
exactly. So
that's where I started my business. So.
Oh yeah. When did you start your business?
I started I got my license in April of 2019.
Okay. So you kind of came in as the market was pretty hot. It was firing off pretty good.
Yeah, it was more so of a buyer's market, I think, back then.
Yeah.
But it was still a struggle because I was brand new and learning things and learning the ways. And I had an amazing team, an amazing mentor, Blake Brentz, and really got me started on the process and the trainings. And I think it just definitely being on a team helps a lot. I don't think I would be where I'm at had I not been on a team.
Yeah, I agree with you. If I wasn't leading a team, I promise you I'd be on a team.
Yeah.
I love the team atmosphere, the environment, the culture. It's super important to me. So
especially when you're new and you don't know where to start. You don't know what to do. You're like, who do I call? What do I do?
Yeah.
And so I always advise everyone, anytime I talk to an agent, you got to start with a team for sure.
Yeah. Agree. You've had steady success from when I first met you and you joined the team and you were just kind of getting started, kind of figuring out the whole Zillow lead thing and, running open houses and just doing the thing, what you do, which is great as a new agent. But looking back at your numbers, you've had very steady, not super fast growth, but steady growth from 2019, like out of the gate.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest contributing factor to that consistent growth?
I definitely think kind of having that morning routine, having that mindset, and just really sticking to it every day. I mean, I kind of jumped in as a full-time agent right away, and I know a lot of people don't do that, but I think being full-time helped me to be focused, wanting it, having that drive, and really just sticking to the tools that work, and having a mentor that really kind of helped me lay the path and show me the way, and the team, of course. But I think with the consistency of using what I have, using the tools that we're given, not trying to reinvent the wheel, just literally doing the process and steps and being committed to it for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. The printer is going crazy behind us right now. For those of you listening on the podcast, we are, we just finished our office meeting. So we had 21 people in here. And so we're still in that like afterglow mode right now. People are still here.
Yeah.
Those of you watching on Facebook Live or watching this on YouTube can see the commotion behind us.
I mean, we work. That shows that we work. So we're a hardworking team right here.
That's right. We're doing it.
Yep.
The printer's working because we're working, darn it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I appreciate that you said that you have a good morning routine. I think going into this new market where we have to be more hunters than just gatherers.
Yep, absolutely.
You need to have a really good routine, and it has to start and be very consistent in the morning so you can win the morning, win the day.
Win the day. Yep.
And Winning the day is looking back at the day and saying, okay, what happened today? Did I move the needle? Did I book any appointments? Did I add anyone to my CRM? Did I have good conversations with somebody? That I ask for referrals, which is super important, right? Did I do those things?
Yep.
And that's how you win the day. And I don't think you can be in the right mindset to do those things unless you have a good morning routine.
Yep,
A
absolutely.
really good one. I will be the first to admit that I have amazing morning routines, and I can't believe how successful I feel and am during those seasons. And then I go through seasons where I have a horrible routine. I mean,
Yep.
I wake up and I do all the stuff you're not supposed to do. I wake up, the first thing I look at
Is your phone.
is my phone.
Yep.
And I see all these things and go, oh crap, I got to do that and that. Here, let me just take care of that real quick before I get out. I'm still in bed. Okay. And I'm dialing in my emails and putting stuff in folders and making myself notes. And then I lay back and I go, I'll just take care of that right now. Next thing you know,
You didn't win the day.
I'm not set up to win the day
Yeah.
for sure. It's going to be a bad day.
Yeah.
But those days that you wake up and you stick to the routine.
And whatever routine that is for you. I mean, some people, it might be totally different. We can talk about a morning routine and it might not work for someone.
Yeah.
It's really finding what is good for you and what works for you.
Right.
Like for me, waking up, I say a prayer. I go straight to the gym. I literally try not to look at my phone as much as I can, but I go straight to my bike, or I have to do something to wake my body up. But that's not everybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some people, has nothing to do with getting endorphins going with a workout. It could be just waking up, spending time doing affirmations, spending good time in prayer. Maybe having a good cup of coffee and reading, a good book or something that just kind of starts them off into this pattern that just gets them in the right mindset.
Absolutely.
It doesn't always have to be gym. For me personally, I have such a bad back. I can't do gym in the morning.
You don't lift the weights, Bryan?
I
Right in the
have-
morning?
You can see how swole I am right now, right? I'm ripped. But if a gym is part of my routine, it has to be in the afternoon for me. And people think I'm crazy. Why would you work out in the afternoon? Because in the
That's
morning,
what works for you.
I'm so stiff in the morning. My back is so stiff. I
Yeah.
can't go work out. So I gotta when you get my age, you'll understand. But
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
So you're right. You're right. You can't create a morning routine for someone. You can generalize in that your morning routine should not include anything negative. It should not include anything toxic. For example, the news. We've got to control our media. And the best way to do that is to not watch it. So no news, no negative, no garbage. If you have to get your fix of news,
Do it later.
Do it later.
Do it when you're drinking your glass of wine or whiskey at night. I mean, I'm not big on the news, really. I listen when I can, but definitely not in the morning.
No way. It's not a good way to set it up.
Yeah.
So that's good. Winning the morning is definitely winning the day. Winning the day is moving the needle, doing all those things. Part of what we even were interested to kind of unpack and chat with a little bit today is how you have been able to have a good mindset so that when you're making your calls and you're rubbing shoulders with different people and you're talking to your sphere and your past clients or things like that, that you're not afraid. You're actually shameless in asking for referrals, right?
Yeah. And you really have to have the confidence when it comes to that. And I think that's a big part of what made my business successful starting out.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're new, you're going to have the online leads. You're going to need them because especially with me being younger too, I didn't really have all the friends and family that were, or maybe friends, age group that were like ready to buy right now,
Right.
And that was 4 years ago. So I think having the confidence to ask for referrals, whether that be your friends, whether that be your family, sphere of influence, when you first start out, you don't have past clients.
Right.
So when everyone tells you, you need to be touching your past clients and not touching,
you're
but
thinking, what's that?
talking to your past
Yeah.
clients and asking for referrals from them. And when I first started, I was like, I don't have any past clients. Hey, Blake, can I use your past clients?
Right.
But just
But
getting
you do have Sphere. You
Yes.
do have Sphere. You do have people that you know that are in your phone
Yep.
that have no clue that you're a professional realtor. And so that's a great place to start is everyone that already knows you and likes you. They don't trust you yet because they don't really know what you can deliver, but they at least know you and they like you. So once you get them into your systems and you, whether it's through automation or through just making the calls, then they begin to trust you because you're bringing value to them. So once you get someone to, this is absolutely a know, like, and trust business. They have to know you, like you, trust you. That is something that's just drilled in.
Yeah.
Any service business really is like that.
I think that's any customer service. Know, like, and trust is definitely.
Yep.
And that's with anything.
Yeah.
You when you go to order food or your server, you want to know, maybe not know them, but trust that they're not doing anything to your food or bringing it to you. You know, it goes everywhere.
Yeah, you get a lot more out of your business when you have, a bigger sphere that does know you, like you, they do trust you, they're willing to give you a referral because you're not going to embarrass them.
And building that trust in the beginning is kind of hard because they're like, oh, you're just starting this out. Yeah. I don't know. Let's kind of see how you do. So you really have, and in that moment is when I really leaned into educating myself, getting to know the process, shadowing Blake, going on every single appointment so that I knew when I was going to go to my friends and family and ask for business and ask for referrals, I had at least some knowledge of, okay, if they are going to send me someone right now, I'm ready to rock and roll and go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's another point to being on a team? If you're a brand new agent and you're trying to get business, you have a lot more confidence knowing that you have a team behind you that's going to help you with the whole process. So when someone says, well, geez, how long have you been in this business? You just go right to, well, I'm on a team that sells, 150 homes a year.
Yeah. And that's really what I did.
You don't even have to answer the question. Just say, I'm on a team that sells 150 homes a year. We do it, every 3 days.
With experience.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the first thing that I did, was leaning into the team and saying, I'm on a team that has 25 plus years of experience. So I have someone that's on the backside of it, watching everything, making sure everything is going to go smoothly. And it gives them the confidence to know, okay, well, she's not totally by herself. She has people that are on her team and experiencing within the business.
Yeah. I was going to say, I remember someone came to me and they said, you guys are putting something in escrow every 3 days. And I was like, no way, we can't just, doesn't feel like we're doing that. But then you look at the numbers and it was like, yeah, we've actually had years where we were putting something in escrow every 2 days and closing every 2 days. It's like, whoa, this is crazy. So when you have that kind of machine behind you, even if you're a new agent, you can wear the cloak of that team, as it were. So let's unpack the whole, what's your approach in going after the referral business? Because you've seen how it's just so important. So how do you do that?
Yeah. So I think it depends on if you're talking to, now that I've had success in my business, I now have past clients. So I think it depends on if you're talking to past clients, might look a little bit different than if you're talking to a family or friend, right?
Know your audience.
Know your audience. Yes. So with a past client, I definitely will reach out to them, throughout their 1 year after they've closed and, check on them, home warranty, things like that. How's the house going? And then I kind of just usually ask them, hey, if you know anyone that's looking to buy or sell, would you please, pass along my phone number or put us in a group text? I've really noticed that with past clients, if I say put us in a group text, I'm getting that contact.
Right.
It's not just leaving it open-ended to, hey, when you get the time to, can you send them my number? And who knows if it's ever going from one end to the other, right? From going from A to B. So I really try to say, can you put us in a group text? Like if you even think maybe they just have a thought about it, or if they have a house that they've told you, oh yeah, we're maybe looking to sell, please just put us in a group text. And that allows me to kind of engage with the referral of how they know them. I want to know, how do you know Jack and Sally, right? Where did you guys meet? And then that kind of builds that relationship and that trust. And it's not just going straight to the business and the salesy. I have a really big passion about getting to know people, and I want to know like what drives them.
Right.
And I think that helps for past clients.
Yeah. So that's a good hack. Don't just ask for the number. Don't just ask for a name and an email or something. Actually say, hey, can you just go ahead and put us in a group text real quick?
Yeah. And I actually had one past client that I said, let's meet at the wineries.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not everyone drinks, but hey, let's go to lunch.
Everyone drinks. What are you talking about?
I don't think everyone drinks,
Okay.
Brian. We know we do.
I met that one person. I met someone.
But I'll just say, let's go to lunch. And that way it kind of gets the past client you back to your past client, building that relationship. It kind of gets their friend out, and it's not so businessy. It's more of a building that friendship and building that relationship so that they do trust you.
Yeah.
Know, like, and trust, right?
Yeah.
They know you. They now like you because you've taken them out, and now they're trusting you.
Right. That's very cool. Wow. So, but tell me more. So you're reaching out to them. You're asking them to connect you with text. What are other techniques that you're doing to make sure that you get those?
I think sometimes, I don't know, besides text, calling, I have like dropped off, like little gifts.
Let's unpack that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, you obviously you came prepared with some notes here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to share with us?
So this one is kind of like an easy first call on a referral, right? So kind of your conversation on how that conversation is going to go and what to ask. And so I kind of had brought a couple notes that we've gone over as a team, which always really helps. So how that conversation would go was, hey, Jack, I'm Stephanie with eXp Realty. I got your name from Sally, and, they mentioned that you were thinking about buying or selling. How did you meet that friend? And that's when I kind of go into that, like, how did you meet them? So I kind of threw out the seed of, you're thinking about buying or selling. That's how I got you. But how'd you meet them? And it gives them a question to answer.
Yeah, that's a good script, actually.
That's a great script. Yeah, it's amazing. I got it from my team.
I know
and it
that
works.
script well.
So then how did you meet that friend? And then they kind of go into, and people love to talk about themselves. If you ask them a question, I try not to talk about myself ever. I try to make it a mystery, and a lot of people don't know who I am. So I'm like, maybe they'll find out. But asking people about them, and then they start talking.
Yeah, that's cool. Mm-hmm. And then how does the dialogue go from there?
So then from there, usually they say, oh yeah, we met at wherever. And then I kind of go into, your friend Sally mentioned that you were looking into maybe a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So I just wanted to get some information. What are you looking for? What else are you looking for in a home? And then say they're like, oh yeah, I was thinking, of upsizing. Maybe they're in a smaller condo and they're like ready for a family and I need rooms for my kids now. So then hopefully they start spilling out what they're looking for, in a home.
One thing that I'm hearing you say too is that you're taking a very presumptive approach. You're making the call and you're saying, you're identifying how you met that person, kind of keeping it about them at first, not about you. Mm-hmm. Then once you get into, what are you looking for in a home, you're just assuming that they are ready to buy and that they're going to use you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have to.
I kind of go into okay, so what are you looking for? This, and this. I know about it. Another one is, are you thinking of buying a home in this area, or are you looking for another area? Getting to the area. Oh, well, I'm familiar with all areas. Where would you like to be? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's so cool. Mm-hmm. A lot of times someone will say, oh, that's cool. I'm glad they connected me with you, but I'm really not ready to buy right now. And every single time I hear somebody say, I'm not ready to buy right now, I say, oh, that's fantastic. Hey, when you are ready to move, are you planning on staying in the area or are you going to move out of the area? Mm-hmm. Get them to talk about their plans.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. The biggest thing is asking, and I always try to ask this question: what is your plan for the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah.
What's your plan? Are you planning on being here? Are you planning on being somewhere else? Do you see yourself somewhere else in 5 years? Yeah. And it really gets them thinking like, this really isn't my, this isn't my plan. I did have a plan to move, or I did have, a plan to go somewhere else.
It gets the dialogue going so you can find out, because ultimately when you're getting a referral, you want to treat it with respect. Mm-hmm. You do, but you need to find out timing and motivation. Yep. So that you can really be what they need you to be.
And then that helps you to kind of figure out, okay, maybe they aren't ready right now, but they're going to remember you. And hopefully if you keep checking in on them, they're going to remember you when they are ready. Right. And that kind of can help you sort your business to say, okay, they're not ready right now. I'm going to put them in my yellow zone. I'm sure Blake talked about his red, green, yellow. Yep. Yellow. And then, that's maybe just kind of, maybe I talk to them 1 or 2 times, And then if they are ready, okay, they're ready to go. I'm putting them in my green. I'm focusing on them, and let's go.
Yeah.
And then if they're like, we're not ready to move until 5 years, that's totally fine. Perfect. And then I start, when I know that they're not ready till 5 years, that's when I start building a relationship. And I don't just not talk to them anymore because then it looks bad to the person that the referral that gave you this, your past client that gave you this referral is now like, well, you introduced me to this girl and then I never heard from her.
Yeah. So if someone says, I'm not ready to move for 5 years, so you already know that's going to be more like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So then the question is, that's great. I'd still like to be able to provide you information along the way so that you can feel comfortable with the decision-making process.
Or if they're, and moving.
So,
and if they're a seller, then I start providing them with maybe some comps or maybe the market update or, hey, guess what's going around in your area or guess what's going around in this area and showing them value.
So what you're doing is you're getting that referral. They say they're absolutely not ready, but you're not the kind of agent that would say, well, then I'm just going to drop them because that's a waste of time. You're actually going to use your automation, which we do a ton of here in this team. They're now in your system. You've asked them, look, we send out a monthly newsletter. We are giving market updates. I won't bombard you, but I'd like to keep you in the loop on what the market's doing so that when that time comes in 5 years, which it's going to be less than that, you can. I feel like you'll be able to make a better decision about the process. Does that sound good to you? They're going to say yes.
They're going to say yes, and then you're keeping top of mind for yourself, and they're seeing. And I'm not a big realtor on like bombarding them with like emails and calls and texts, but it's just in a friendly, nice manner that you're like, oh wow, she's really showing value to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, and thinking of me.
That's the agent that I want to use. The one that. For the last 2 years, I've been getting these little nuggets about the market, and I've always been top of mind. What's really cool about that too is you can actually get a lot of referrals from a referral that you never do business with. So your friend Sally introduced you to Joan. Joan's not ready to move for 5 years, but you're keeping in such good contact with her and showing her so much value that every 3 or 4 touches, if you say to Joan, hey, by the way, if you know anyone that's looking to buy or sell, I would love to provide the same type of value to them as I'm doing for you.
For you, yep.
Next thing you know, you're getting referrals from a referral that you haven't even conducted business with yet.
And that happens a lot of times too, especially with a lot of the online leads. Like some of them don't convert, but I'm asking them for referrals or asking them for people that they might know.
Yeah.
And then even on top of that, take it a step further, say that referral isn't ready to go for another 5/2 years. I even asked them, okay, well, do you know of anyone? And that's really making that spider web and like growing your, or your tree, I guess.
It has a compound effect. So you can ask a referral for referrals.
Oh, and then a referral on that. And then another.
Pretty soon your database is just full of people that know you somehow and they like you because you're giving them good value. They're going to start to trust you right away because the value that you're giving is accurate. It's from the MLS.
It's from the MLS. Yep.
Yeah. So,
and I did awesome. 5 deals on one first client. They bought a house, and the other 4 people were all like a referral from them, and then a referral from them, and then a referral from them. Like, oh, we heard that, Joe loved you guys, and we wanted your number.
So awesome. That is the core of this business. It's a relationship business. It's building on that kind of stuff because it will stick. You want online leads, you want all those other things, but hopefully, because they're usually a little bit lower hanging fruit a lot of times, because if you're really going after referrals, they're going to give you a name that's really maybe not ready yet, but that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
But as long as you have all of that going and you keep in the forefront that you never close a transaction or or have somebody in your web that you're not also asking for referrals. And if you're providing the right information at the right time along the way, they're going to love to give your name out as a referral for a referral because they see that you're providing so much value. So I think what you're doing is awesome.
Thanks. I feel like asking for a referral goes hand in hand with asking for a review, right?
Yeah.
We ask people for reviews all the time. Every single client, hey, can you give me a review? On top of that, I add in, hey, I would love for a review. And if you absolutely loved me, please send me to everyone else. You're tag teaming it in the same sentence, even in the same conversation. You're throwing both of them out there.
Exactly. Before we end, this has been really great. referrals.
Yeah, you gotta ask. You gotta ask. I mean, just having that confidence in knowing that, hey, and you might get no. I've gotten many no's. Hey, do you know anyone? Nope.
Yep.
Okay, that's totally fine. And just, well, if you hear of anyone, please let contact me, and put us in a group text. And at first it's hard to ask for referrals.
Yeah.
It can be very scary, and you have a really big fear, but just getting over that fear and just ask.
Yep.
Like what is it going to hurt? It's going to grow your business, right? There's no harm in it. You just gotta do it. You gotta ask.
Here's something I adapted, and you may do this, or maybe you don't. But when someone says no, I say, "Oh, that's totally fine." But I want you to know, from time to time, I'm going to ask you for referrals because I love to grow my business with people like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so that makes them feel good.
I mean, if I heard you say it, I'd be like, "Oh, thank you." Yeah.
So from time to time, I am going to ask you if you know anybody that's looking to buy or sell, because I really love to grow my business with people just like you. So be thinking about that, because next time I ask, you probably will have someone that you can refer. So literally, that line is so good because if they get a no, you can still let them know that it's going to be a yes soon, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway. And it's really kind of just letting them know, like, I want to help you and your friends and family. I'm here to help you guys.
Right.
So
yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Stephanie. This was very cool.
Yeah, this was awesome. My first podcast.
This is your first podcast?
First one ever. How'd I do?
You did excellent, but we're going to have to do a lot more of these.
I would love to do a lot more. Yeah, this is fun.
Thanks for being here. Thank you guys for joining us. This was awesome. If you have any questions for Stephanie Elkin Cranford, her information will be down below. Feel free to reach out to us for any scripts or content or anything that you think we should or can provide you for free to help you move the needle in your business. If you're a buyer and seller and you just have questions about the market, reach out. We're here for you. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Hey, wait, before you go, I wanted to quickly thank you for tuning in to the Our Team podcast. And whether you're listening on Facebook Live or you're tuning in on YouTube or maybe listening to a podcast, I wanted to just say, if you found any value in this, would you please take the time to like and subscribe? And if you leave a comment, that really helps the show as well. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.